You will see a huge difference. A huge difference. Quote me. You will see a huge difference if you start this. Hey y'all, it's your girl Ny'Ree, and we are back with another video. So as you can tell by the thumbnail and the caption that we are going to be talking about some feminine hygiene tips. So how to keep your kitty smelling fresh all day. I got a few tips for you, so yeah, just stay tuned. So the first thing that I want to talk about is making sure that you are eating properly. And when I say that, I mean drinking water. Like, it helps your body flush out any toxins that you may have, and it just helps you to maintain a safe and healthy pH balance. I promise you, just drink more water. Try to aim for, if you have like a 2 liter, like, you know how you have like a 2 liter pop, get you a 2 liter of water and make sure that you drink that per day. A lot of people say a gallon of water per day. A lot of people don't really like drinking that much water. I would just say at least drink 2 liters of water a day just to keep yourself at a safe level. And fruit. I know y'all heard of that. Just eat more fruit. The fruit that I would say to eat more of is pineapple. It helps with your pH balance, and you know, have a really nice smell to yourself. Yogurt. I don't know if y'all hip, but yogurt helps to regulate your pH balance, and then also it helps with like natural, it's like a natural probiotic if you think about it, and it just helps to regulate down there. The yogurt is very, very good for you. I would just say to eat 1 cup of yogurt a day, drink your water, eat your pineapples, girl, you won't go. You will see a huge difference. A huge difference. Quote me. You will see a huge difference if you start this. Make sure that you're using the correct intimate wash. I know a lot of ladies are doing the body wash, but I use body wash over my body. I don't use that on my kitty. I don't use that at all. I use an intimate wash from Vagisil. Everything that I'm pretty much telling you about, I'm just going to give you an example. I'll link like the products down below that I actually use. I'm not just saying stuff just to be saying stuff. I'm just going to link the products that I'm using. But I use Vagisil, and that works best for me with my pH. It's different for different people, so I would just say try different things out, but just make sure that you use a proper intimate wash. So another company is Honey Pot. You can use Summer's Eve. Those are the only ones that I can think of. Honey Pot, Summer's Eve, and Vagisil wash, intimate wash. I just use Vagisil. I just like it better. Just make sure that the product says that it is hypoallergenic. Make sure that the product notes that there are no dyes used in the product. If you use a washcloth, just make sure that you change it out regularly. Washcloths are known for holding bacteria, and if you use the same washcloth for longer than a few days, then you might have a problem. Make sure you shave or you wax. This might be very controversial to a few people, because some people don't really like to shave or like to wax. They like to leave a little hair there, and it's just from my experience, honestly, if you leave hair in certain areas where it becomes musky, or it can become musky, like hair holds like bacteria, and it smells like really bad. Just imagine if you have hair under your arms and you're sweating in that area and you don't have deodorant on. It smells so bad, like bad. It just smells bad. It's the same thing for down there. Like, it's an area that is closed off, like your underarms. It's getting hot. Bacteria can grow there, and if there's hair there, it can grow in the hair and it can make a musky smell, and you don't want those problems. Since if you're intimate, this might be TMI. If you're 18 plus, I would just say fast forward for about 45 seconds so you don't hear this part if you are not intimate. But if you are intimate, just make sure you properly take care of yourself after a D appointment. And it might not be an appointment, it might be a man that's at the house with you right now. I'm just saying that in code words, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you are using the bathroom right after. Like, make sure you get up and go use the bathroom. You have to use the bathroom. Otherwise, the bacteria can get into your urethra tube and you could end up with a UTI. a urinary tract infection, and those can be dangerous depending on how long you make those or have those UTIs go on for. Urinary tract infections can actually turn into kidney infections, which could higher your possibility of kidney failure and kidney stones, and we don't want those problems. Just make sure you're taking care of her, okay? If you do end up with a UTI and you're using the bathroom, the bacteria from your urine can kind of get into your hole. Sorry if this is TMI, but we're talking about the kitty. It can get into your hole, like your, you know, the canal, and it could cause BV or yeast infection because of the bacteria that is in your urine. Like, you just want to make sure that you are clean all the way around. Make sure you are wearing the proper clothing, like clothes that are too tight and don't have the correct materials to give yourself breathing room. You're gonna create a situation where yeast can grow, and we don't want that. Don't use spandex created material. Like I know we like wearing like boy shorts and stuff like that, but just make sure that it is cotton and not spandex, because that can cause you to have a yeast infection. Make sure that you have things that are loose fitting and that are not tight and that are of cotton material, that are breathable material. Make sure you properly wash your kitty, wash your girl, okay? I'm gonna tell you how. Ever heard of the term that you just need water? That's controversial as well. Like, I remember sitting in a cafeteria, and that was the biggest place in our school at that point. And there was some women that was coming up to speak with all the girls, and of course we were younger, you know, and they just told us to just use water, and everybody was like, oh, that is so nasty. What do you mean just use water? That's why such and such stink, whatever. But it's like, she was right. So before you get mad at me, before you be like, girl, I know it's stink, listen to what I'm saying, okay? I just told y'all I use a intimate wipe on my kitty on the outside, but not on the inside. You don't want to put anything. I don't care if it's hypoallergenic, dye-free, none of that. I don't care about none of that. You're not putting that inside of your canal, because if you put that in there, then you are prone to a yeast infection or BV. It's going to throw off your pH, and everything that we worked so hard for up until this point is not going to matter, because you didn't put something in there. Just use water. Now, I know that you've probably seen like those little squeeze bottle. You can fill that up with water, and I would typically take like a hot or warm water, pretty much warm water, and I would fill the bottle up and I would squirt it in my canal. Y'all might think that that's crazy. Y'all might try to figure out like what the heck is wrong with me, but that's how you actually wash your canal. Now, you do have a discharge, and it does naturally clean out your canal, which I highly believe in. I'm not saying that it does not do its job, but in some cases or some instances where you are, you know, doing the deed and he may end up then you gotta do something about that. You know what I'm saying? The male semen actually does change your pH balance. Even though it's naturally coming out of them, don't mean that it's naturally supposed to be inside of you just sitting there. And it can change your pH balance. Make sure you flush that stuff out. I mean, don't use a douche. Don't use douche at all. That has vinegar and all that other stuff in there. That is going to change your pH balance so freaking crazy. You're going to be so mad because you got to keep using it, because now your body is not used to cleaning itself out or using natural elements to clean itself out. Now it's used to whatever elements is in this dish, and now you have a problem. Don't use dish at all, okay? Don't do that. That hurts you more than it helps you. Just use water. Actually gonna list the Parasol bottle that I'm telling you about down below. The next thing that I want to talk about is being aware of the medicine that you are taking. Believe it or not, antibiotics actually throws off your pH balance as well. So say if you had a UTI and you go to the doctor and you're like, listen, I got a UTI, I just want to make sure everything's good, everything's cleared up. So after you get done with this UTI medicine, all of a sudden you starting to smell an odor, and you like, wait a minute, something is not right. You know, A lot of times antibiotics does throw off your pH balance, so I'm just be real with y'all. After a round of the UTI medication, you're probably gonna have to go back to the doctor and say, hey, there's something not right. I have an odor. Most of the time it might be BV or a yeast infection, just because that medicine does throw off your pH balance. It's a lot that us women have to go through and try to maintain, but that's exactly what happens, and it's unfortunate. But after you take the medication for the BV or the yeast or whatever you end up having, after you take this UTI medication, everything is going to go away. You're going to be back to normal. Just make sure that you go use the bathroom after you do the deed, okay? Another thing that I would say to make sure you keep with you are feminine wipes. You can use wet ones, you can use you can just use anything. I'm gonna just link the product that I use in the description box below. If you use the bathroom and you're in a public place, you can use this tissue, it's fine, but you also want to make sure that you follow it with this wipe, because it's just going to clean everything up. You just want to make sure that you are able to be fresh at all times, because you know discharge happens. You're not supposed to wear a panty liner 24/7. But one thing that I do want to put in there a little bit is that if you don't know, or if you haven't noticed, and this might be TMI, but closer to your menstrual, probably a week before you have heavier discharge, just make sure that you bring panty liners with you and bring your wipes. If you are a younger girl and you're just using, or you just like using pads, period, no pun intended. No pun intended. But if you just like using pads and you don't like the tampon situation, just make sure that you bring wipes with you as well, because you want to clean up that area, not only with tissue but follow it with the wipes, so that way that area is clean after you change your pad, okay? I mean, if y'all want me to do a what's in my bag around my period, or what I would suggest using or keeping around or with you during that time period, then make sure you leave a comment down below, or give this video a thumbs up pretty much, and I will actually make a video about that in the near future if that's something that y'all are interested in. All products will be listed down below that I use as a suggestion to you. You don't necessarily have to use them, but I would just say try them out. If you like this video, like I said, just give it a thumbs up. Make sure you press that subscribe button, and don't forget to press the bell next to the subscribe button so you don't miss another video from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.